Welcome or welcome back to the Infinite Library, and today we're going to be doing my TBR plans for the month of August, and it's mostly going to be me playing catch up. A lot of books that have maybe fallen off my TBR. So I am going to be doing part 3 of my Goodreads challenge. So I have 6 books to read for that. I'm not going to say what they are, but it is going to be 3 non-fiction books versus 3 YA fantasy. I do have the 3 YA fantasy physically, but the 3 non-fiction I are waiting for them to come in from the library still, or I'm reading them via audiobook. So if you recognise certain special editions, you might have an idea what at least 2 of the YA fantasy are going to be that I'm going to be reading. So that is my main project for the month, of course, but my other project for the month is that I'm just going to be mostly trying to pick up books that I just haven't been able to finish, or stuff that's come from previous months TBR. So that is my main plan for August, is to try and catch up a little bit basically with all my plans. The one exception to this is that I definitely want to read Queen Bee by Juno Dawson. This is very short as well, so I'm pretty sure this is going to be an easy read. This is the prequel book for Her Majesty's Royal Coven series. It is basically about Anne Boleyn making a coven, from what I gather. It's going to be queer, it's going to be witchy, it's going to be a good time, hopefully. We finally got the announcement for the last book in the series, which is coming out next year. I'm excited to read this. Would rather it be the last book in the series, obviously, but I'm quite interested in this, and I think it's going to be a good time, I think. So I'm definitely going to be fitting this into my TBR. I'm also finally going to be starting the next book in the Fits Along, which is Ship of Magic. The first, I think it's in the Live Ship books, the Live Ship Traders books. This is a very old copy that I have, which I really like. I have read this one actually before, a long time ago, so I remembered really nothing about it, but I do remember that I liked it. So yeah, I'll be reading this, and then I've not read any of the other books in this trilogy, so when I get on to the next ones, that's going to be totally new to me. I have ended up deciding that I just don't enjoy the Fitz books in the series, so I'm not going to be reading any more of the Fitz books. I actually dropped Assassin's Quest in the end because I just wasn't enjoying it. It just wasn't working for me, and I just really didn't want to push myself through 700 pages. That was just not working. But I do remember liking this, so I'm hoping that I'll have a much better time with Ship of Magic. So I also will, as always, have my book club book. At the time of filming, I haven't yet actually run the book club, so I don't know what that book's going to be, but there is, as always, 3 options to pick from. So 2 of them I actually already have physically. One is one that I bought recently, and one I have had out from the library, and I think it's one that people, it almost won last month, so I'm putting it in again, basically, as an option. So that is, where is it? Light from Uncommon Stars by Reiki Aoki. This is I guess it's like a cozy slice of life kind of sci-fi is the vibe I get from this. It's actually set at a donut cafe or something, but it sounds really good. It is about a woman about 3 women, basically. One called Shizuka Satami, who made a deal with the devil, who has to basically get these violin prodigies to trade their souls with success. She's delivered 6 of the 7, and she has 1 left who she needs to get, basically, and that person is Katrina, a young transgender runaway. But she gets sidetracked, I believe, because she ends up at this donut shop and she meets a retired starship captain, and they they form a little bond, basically. And I think that's gonna make her reassess her priorities, I suppose. So yeah, I've heard really good things about this. I'm hoping it will get picked, honestly. But if not, the other 2 options are Floating Hotel by Grace Curtis. This is a new release. This is also a sci-fi, and also kind of giving me cozy sci-fi vibes. We read Fina, which I think was more chill, I suppose, but mostly we've read more dramatic sci-fi, I think. So yeah, we've got 2 cozy options this month. This one is a mystery set aboard a hotel on a spaceship, basically. I don't know much more about it, but it's described as Grand Budapest Hotel in Space, a hopeful story of misfits, rebels, and found family. Perfect for fans of Becky Chambers, Martha Wells, and Aliette de Bodard. I love Becky Chambers, liked what I've read so far of Martha Wells, so I think this is probably going to be a winner, quite honestly, because we read Becky Chambers' book before, and I know there's a lot of people who really like Martha Wells' Murderbot series in the group. So I do think it's going to be one of these 2 that get picked. But if not, I also have a fantasy option, which is The Spear Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez. Off the top of my head, I can't remember a whole lot about it, but it's had really good reviews and it's one I'm interested in reading. So I'll put here exactly what did get picked. So on to the other books that I'm going to be reading throughout the month of August, hopefully. I have a couple of books that have kind of passed over from the month of July that I most likely will not have gotten to at the time of filming. There's like a week or so basically left. So I'm expecting to get through maybe 2 or 3 books, but I don't know if I'm going to get through these ones or not. So I very much doubt I didn't get to the When the Moon Hatched because it's quite chunky, and I think I've got others I'm going to be prioritising for July. So I'll likely be getting to this in August as well. Really looking forward to reading this actually. This is quite a new dragon romantasy that has come out recently. It is about an assassin called Rave, not quite sure. She gets captured and she ends up getting involved, it looks like, with a dragon rider, quite possibly. Really don't know a whole lot about it, but it is the start of a new series. And yeah, it's gotten very popular, so I just kind of want to see what the hype is about, basically. So I will definitely be getting to this in August. This is probably going to be one of my priorities, like after the book club books and reading all my Goodreads stuff. Ideally, I don't think I'll finish it, but I would like to make more progress on it. This was a buddy read, but we've actually decided to not carry it on as a buddy read anymore just because it's so long and we were kind of struggling to keep up with each other's like times, basically because there was 3 of us reading it and we just got busy at different times. But I am a decent chunk of the way through this. I'm about 400 pages in so far, loving it. Thankfully, I'm like a big fan of the films and I know the story quite well. So I think I can just get back into this quite easily, even though I've not picked it up in like 2 months, but I was really loving it. So yeah, we'll be reading, I guess, like 2 Stephen Kings in this month. Other things I want to get to, let's see, I have a stack. I would like to finally pick up Empire of the Vampire with any luck. We'll see, because I think the other chunky books are probably going to take precedence. But if I can, I'd like to get to this one, even if I just start it. I want to read The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This is like a very popular thriller kind of book about a housemaid who discovers something, I think, and there are lies and stuff in the family, and yeah, I think it's going to be fine. It's not particularly long. I think it's going to be an easy read. Carrying on by Jacqueline Wilson. I didn't get to Bad Girls, so I'm going to be reading Bad Girls most likely in this month. Really excited to kind of give this a reread because I really remember enjoying it. And I feel like it's not one that people really think of that much from her books. Like, I feel like there's other books of hers that are a lot more popular, but I really like this one. I have been reading, I may not have finished the first Heaven Official's Blessing volume, but if I do manage to finish it, I'm going to want to pick up volume 2, which I do have. I'm actually going to be trying to read one of these a month. There are 8 volumes, I think, in total, just so that I can be keeping up with it and not like leaving it too long before I pick up the next volume. So that is going to kind of be my plan. So if I haven't finished volume 1, that I might just be reading volume 1 basically in August. But if I have finished it, then I am going to try and pick up the second volume. It's called Damne, which is a Chinese light novel kind of thing, usually with LGBT elements in it. This is a fantasy series basically about this, I'm going to butcher the names, I've really been trying to pronounce them correctly, but Shishalian, who is this guy here, and he was like a former crown prince and then he ascended to heaven, but he's basically just had a string of bad luck since he ascended, and now he used to be someone who was worshipped and now everyone kind of hates him. But he's been brought down to earth again to try and figure out some stuff that's been going on, and I have actually watched the animated series for this, and a lot of it is like a mystery fantasy series, which I really love on the mystery elements, but there is a romance between him and... is there any pictures of Hua Cheng? I don't think there is at the moment, but yeah, there is a romance that develops between him and somebody else, and yeah, I really love the series, so looking forward to be carrying this on. Otherwise, I did start Julia Arnfield's short story collection when I went to her author event, Salt Slow. This is kind of just like a bunch of short stories. Most of them are like speculative, horror, sci-fi, that kind of thing. I read the first one, loved it, and it's quite short, so I'm going to try and be knocking this out as well in August. And I'm still amazed at myself that I haven't got around to carrying on the summer that Hikari died, and I really want to, so I really am going to try and push to get these read. I don't know if the 4th volume is out now, to be honest, because I feel like it's been a while since the 3rd volume came out. But yeah, those, and with any luck, I'll get to volume 3 of the Twisted Wonderland manga as well. This is the kind of thing I read in like one sitting, so there is really no excuse for why I haven't gotten to these yet. I just haven't. So those are the main books. If I somehow have any time left, or I might swap some in and out, I don't know, I still have some library books as well out that I really want to try and just get out. I am really bad for going to the library to pick up my hold and then actually picking up other books as well. So I really want to try and get these just back to the library so I can focus on reading my physical TBR instead. Some of these are quite short. I've got 2 graphic novels and then 4 full-length novels. So I have, this is a graphic novel called The Times I Knew I Was Gay by Ellen Cruz. But you can see it's kind of just like, almost like little comics, basically. So this is an easy read. I just haven't felt like picking it up just yet, but I will hopefully pick this up. The other graphic novel I have is The Girl from the Sea by Molly Knox Ostertag. I don't know a whole lot about this, but it's like, I think it's like a light fantasy with LGBTQ elements. I think she meets a mermaid. She's the main girl wants to escape the island where she lives. She saves another girl called Kelty from drowning, and yeah, they start to fall in love basically, but they've both been hiding things which are going to come to the surface basically. But yeah, this looks super cute, so I think that's going to be a nice read. Feels very summery as well, to be honest. And then the last 4 books I have are just novels. I've had this out for so long. This is part of my 12 books in 12 book series. I mean, it is technically in the TBR jar, so I may even pull it, but I just really want to get to it at this point. I've heard such good things about it. It's been highly recommended to me. This is a sci-fi set in a circus and a moon, basically. It's queer. Yeah, I just want to get to it, and finally, I've had this out for like months and I just need to get to it at this point. I also have The House Witch and The Enchanting of the Heath. This just looks very cozy fantasy. Gonna be honest, I really don't know much about this. I've heard no one really talking about it, but I'm just sold from the cover alone. Let's actually look what it's about. So it is about someone called Finley who joins the kitchen of a king and queen. He is an enigma, apparently, has a secret, must negotiate court politics, stay out of trouble together with his familiar, the fluffy black kitten, Kraken. That is adorable. Oh, he catches the eye of a certain lady. Oh, it looks like this is a whole series, which I didn't know. I've literally only seen this one, but look at the back there. It's like same as like a whole other 3 books in the series from the looks of it. So yeah, I guess this is the first book in a series. This is by Della Mac Emily Nakota. Yeah, I just want to give it a try. I feel like it's just going to be a cute, cozy fantasy romance, I suppose. So yeah, I'm going to try and get to this. I then have 16 Souls by Rosie Talbot. This is a YA horror thing, basically, about a 16-year-old seer who one of his ghost friends is like taken away, and he teams up with this new guy in town who's like a seer. So yeah, it sounds like it's just like a spooky YA LGBT ghosty thing. This author's, I think, is going to be at Yelp, which I'm going to later in the year, so I wanted to get to this basically for that reason. And then finally, I did put in a hold for a book that I don't know if I'm going to like or not, but I have a suspicion it's going to be in the Goodreads Fantasy Awards, or the Romantasy most likely. So I wanted to try and give it a try, and that is Where the Dark Stands Still by A.B. Poronek. This person may also be at Yelp, actually. That might have been why I decided to pick it up. It says in the back, once upon a time in a forest of tangled secrets, a wild girl and a broken boy fell in love. Doesn't really tell you a whole lot about it. It is about a girl called Liska, who's raised in a small village near a spirit wood, thinks that magic is monstrous. However, she has powers, unleashes them, and she's caught by the demon warden of the wood, who offers her a bargain, 1 year of servitude in exchange for a wish. This is kind of giving me, what was the book I read before that this was really familiar to me? It was the Red Riding Hood one about the forest. That's giving me vibes of this one. But yeah, she's whisked away to a manor. Turns out she's not the first person to strike this bargain. If she wants to survive the year and return home, she must unravel her host's spool of secrets and face the ghosts of his past. So yeah, it's going to be a romance, I guess, between him and her. Don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but I think it's going to be an easy read, I think. So yeah, I am intrigued for that. And the author helps raise chickens, so love that. So that is the stack. As I said, I'm not really expecting to get to all those, but if I can just try and clean as many off my TBR as possible, I'd really like that, particularly those library books, to be honest. So the only thing left to do is to pull from my TBR jar. So let's see what we've got. As I said, from last month, I've not only put my 12 TBR veterans in here, I've also put in my 12 Rex and 12 friends, just because I want to finally get to them. So we have more in here now, and I don't want to look because they're in different papers, so I'll know which is which. Basically, like whether it's a Rec or whether it's a veteran. Okay, I do have one. This feels long. Oh. Okay, this is indeed a 12 Rec from a friend, from my friend Sammy, and it's actually another Danmei. This is the Husky and his White Cat Shizen. This is the first volume in another Danmei series. I don't know a whole lot about it, but she really loves it. So yeah, she recced this for me. I don't actually own this one, and it's not in any libraries, so I'm gonna have to pick this one up. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna be reading a lot of Danmei in August. So yeah, that is that. Am I mad? I'm a little mad just because I'm already reading Danmei, so I don't really want to pick up another series, but I'll give it a try anyway, and we'll see. I don't think it's not going to be massively long, at least. So yeah, that is it for this TBR. A bit of a mixed bag. I'm just going to be reading a whole mix of things, I think, during August, but I also don't think it's going to take me too long to get through my 6 Goodreads books, so I am optimistic that I'll get through a chunk of these books. So that is it for this video. As always, stay safe, stay cozy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!